Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chloe for those of you who don't know me, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Okay guys, so a couple weeks ago I posted this video here of me just answering a whole bunch of university questions, and since then I just received so many more DMs and more questions about university. So today I'm going to do my best to try and answer some more of your questions. For those of you who don't know, I just graduated from Laurier University with a bachelor's of business administration. I had the whole university experience, so I'm just going to try and answer your questions. For anyone who's going to university this year, I just want to say get so excited. It's gonna be the best 4 years of your life. You have so much to look forward to. If you guys are new here, make sure to like and subscribe. I post videos every single week, and yeah. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. Hey guys, first question. How many students are in each class? So in first year, my average class size was probably somewhere between 200 and 300 kids. First year lectures are known for being really, really big, but every year after that, your classes will usually get smaller and smaller. So yeah, I'd say like 200 to 300, then next year was 100, then 60, then 30. Just because depending what you're majoring in, your classes will usually get more specific and specified as they go on. Are there any big campus events like homecoming? Okay, so yes, at my university, there are two like major big events during the year. Frosh Week in itself is just like crazy in the first year, like everybody's moving back in, so there's lots of gatherings and parties and going out. Universities usually have their homecoming games on a weekend, so it's usually on a weekend in September or early October. They're huge, they're big events. People get dressed up and just spend the whole day with friends, going to the football games, doing all that stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then for Laurier, St. Patrick's Day is a huge event. If anybody's heard of Ezra, you know that it's crazy, and I lived on Ezra for the last 3 years, so yeah, it's a good time. There's definitely a whole bunch of events. I would say that St. Patrick's Day and homecoming were the biggest for my school, but they vary between universities. What are the meal plan options? In first year, we had 2 different meal plans. I don't know if they've changed since then. So if you lived in a dorm or a single apartment, I believe you had to do the dining hall option. So basically you go to the dining hall. I don't remember what the hours were because I didn't really go to it that often, but I'm pretty sure it's like probably from like 6 or 7 a.m. to like 11 or 12 at night. Anyone who stayed in a single or dorm style residence had a dining hall meal plan. Because I lived in apartment style, I had a kitchen, so I didn't have to get the dining hall meal plan. Instead, I had a one card that had $2,000 worth of meal plan money on it, and then I could use that balance at like Timmy's, Williams, Pizza, Starbucks, whatever was on campus. I could just use my food money towards that. How does the teaching style vary between profs? So it all depends on the subject that you're learning. If you're learning classes like entrepreneurship or marketing, the teaching style is probably going to be different versus if you're learning calculus or econ. Some profs are super interactive. Some profs like lecture slides. Some profs don't like lecture slides. Some profs say no laptops. Some say do. So I'd say you'll kind of get a feel in the first couple weeks for each prof that you have, but just know that you could have very different expectations from one prof to another. Okay, next one. Where were your favorite places to study on campus? So my favorite study spot was the library. I really liked being able to go and just kind of isolate myself in a cubicle. It was nice to leave my bedroom. I like to study where it's really, really quiet, so I personally like the library, but you know, there's a whole bunch of different study spots at all universities. Your university will probably have like a small concourse area where lots of people go and do group work, usually empty classrooms depending on the time of day. Anywhere you can really get a whiteboard too can be really useful. So yeah, like most universities have designated areas, but my favorite spot was the library. The next one is, can you give me an idea of your typical weekday at school? Okay, I'm just gonna pull a day from first year. So in first year, I'd say that my average day was kind of waking up around like 8 to 9, getting breakfast, getting coffee, and heading to campus for my first class at like 10. I'd probably have class between 10 and 4 o'clock. If I had time in between classes, I would get food on campus or I would study. And then after 4, I'd probably go back to my res. I would make dinner. I would just chill for a bit, you know, just had a whole bunch of class, watch TV, watch YouTube. But after, I'd get ready for any other lectures. So on Mondays, I used to have lab from 7 to 8:30, so I would go back on campus for that. Then when lab was done, I'd come back home and I'd either work out, chill with my roommates, hang out, study. I really noticed that some of my weeks would be a lot more busy than others because of assignments, tests, exams, like just a whole bunch of stuff would build up at once. So on my off weeks, when things were a bit more slow, I would usually relax a bit more, but I also would start studying a little bit just so you're not cramming in your super busy weeks. Okay, so next one is, are there tutoring options? Yes, at my school there were tutoring options. I believe on like the homepage of most university websites, they will link you guys to tutors, and the tutors are usually second, third, and fourth year students who got I think it's like an 85 to 100% in a course. They are really good, and if you're really good at tutoring, you could tutor in second, third, and fourth year as a part-time job, and it pays pretty well. Were sororities and fraternities popular? I wasn't in a sorority, but I do know a couple people who were. I would say that they're a lot more popular in the States, but they do exist in Ontario universities, and even though I wasn't part of one, I think they're a really good way to meet people, make friends, and they look really good on applications for jobs and co-op applications. How did you meet a lot of your friends? So for meeting friends, I'm still best friends with my roommates from first year. I met a whole bunch of people in my classes. Like I said, as the classes get smaller and smaller, you become closer with those people in those classes. I met people in clubs that I was in. You meet people who you work with on co-op, you meet people from work, you meet people in the dining hall, you meet people at homecoming and on St. Patrick's Day. So there's just lots and lots of opportunities for you guys to make friends. There's so many social gatherings all the time. So yeah. When did I have to declare my major? So for my program, I didn't have to declare my major until like my third, kind of fourth year. Depending on what your major is, you might have to take some of the courses in third year, so I would kind of have a good idea around the end of second year. If your program is different, they will likely give you a timeline of when you have to know your major by, but for me, I didn't really need to know it by like third year, fourth year time. What was the hardest part of uni for you? So for me, I would say the hardest part of uni was just time management and adjusting from high school to university. Like, it's just a big jump because the schoolwork isn't necessarily harder, there's just more of it. Like, there's just more work overall. So, you know, being able to balance sleep, mental health, school, a job, like it's all about managing your time really well. I really recommend buying a planner, like a $5 to $10 planner that lets you see your whole schedule by the month. For me, I like seeing it by the month because I could see what weeks I had that were super busy and I could start planning for things ahead. Daily planners are really good too if you have a lot of stuff in your day to do, but for me, I just like to keep track of big things like big assignments, big tests, and when I work. So being able to see my schedule by the month was very helpful for me. Another hard part for me was my best friends all went to different universities. They went to Ryerson, they went to Toronto, they went to Guelph. For me, just not having my best friends with me all the time was a big change. It definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone to try and make new friends, but yeah, that's a big adjustment. If you go to school at least with like one of your best friends, you know, there's a bit of comfort in that. I wouldn't be scared of it though. It's definitely a good thing. I'm glad that I was pushed out of my comfort zone because I made some of my best friends that way. The last question, guys, what do I wish I knew going into freshman year? I wish someone told me to sleep more because I was always on the go and I pulled all-nighters for stuff when I probably shouldn't. So I wish someone told me, you know, sleep is very important. I think it's really important for people to know their mental health resources that are around them. If there's a wellness center, if you have therapy on campus, I think it's very important for first years to know this information before going in. Even if you don't think that you need it, just know where your resources are just so you have access to them in case you ever do need them or a friend needs them. It's good to be able to refer people to them in case they need them. The first year of university is amazing, but it also can be a very stressful situation for some people because there's so much change that's going on. So yeah, definitely make sure you know where your mental health resources are and where your wellness centers are. Okay, my last piece of advice is, you know, just try and say yes as much as you can in university. 4 years flew by for me and I said yes like a lot, but you know, I definitely think for a lot of people, just, you know, say yes. I mean, within reason. Like if you have a test the next day, don't go out the night before. Like, know when to say no, but you know, say yes to fun, say yes to trivia nights, say yes to joining teams, say yes to joining a club. Just try and get in the habit of saying yes and being involved because you likely won't have other opportunities like this in your life just to be part of so much stuff and to be part of a university community. So yeah, guys, just say yes. Okay guys, that's all the university questions I have today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, make sure to like and subscribe. It means so much to me. And if you guys have any more university questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below or shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'll do my best to get back to you. So yeah, good luck in university, guys. You are going to love it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!